Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas here, October 29th, 2018. It's pretty early in the morning. It's only about 5 o'clock. I woke up and made my coffee and started checking Facebook and notifications. And I see one that kind of hits me wrong, where somebody I don't even know, is not on my friends list, a guy out of Lubbock, he ha-ha'd a Facebook post of mine from a few days ago called "The Killer's Gun." And you know, and part of the reason that hits me wrong, because it's a fact-filled evidence story of just absolute proof that people come to my home with the gun and shot me with no warning. Okay, I mean that's probably that is Charles Manson. I mean, that's what that put them on the level of Charles Manson, who went to break into homes and kill people. These people are cold-blooded killers, and that's what I'm trying to show people. And that's been the problem here, is the evidence is clear about it, and I'm gonna show you that. And so the other thing is that all it takes is that right there. You click ha-ha and think that's funny. Oh, that's funny, huh? We come into his house and shot him dead, or shot him, left him to die. That's funny, ha-ha. Well, I don't think it's so funny. I'm crippled for life. My life is destroyed. My career's over. I mean, I've been terrorized every single day for years. And you know, it's just an absurd amount of criminality, of public corruption, and the press that there knows all of it. They're hiding it from the public. One of the secret police goes murder somebody else. You know, the killers keep on killing. And here, you know, thankfully I'm alive. I'm living under a death threat, you know, multiple death threats. And so anyways, I want to show you here. And then the other side is that's all it takes to get put on my suspect list right there, you know. And then that don't mean this guy was here. Well, I was told a lot of people were here, but that doesn't mean he was here with the murder party and to shoot me, or he knows somebody was here. But if he was, or he does know somebody, then I think we could take this and use that in court and put him in prison, you know, someday. And so that's why I print screen all the information, and I'm going to block him, you know, because once again, it's not funny. Breaking into homes and murdering people, that's not funny at all, you know, because it could have to be you and your family. You could be home minding your business, and they come to your home and kill you using these dirty cops they use. And so I'm going to show you this. It's going to be an interesting video, and this is how to get on the suspect list. Hold on, I'm going to turn the camera. Okay, here I got the camera turned around, looking at the computer here, and basically, you know, I get the notifications that I'm looking through, and I see this Johnny Bice reacted to your video. Okay, and I'm not going to click on it because I've already got it up here, but it's going to take me. It's a ha-ha. Okay, so I don't even know who Johnny Bice is, you know. And as I say, now, you know, maybe the guy's just rude. You know, maybe he's not into human trafficking and part of the crime ring, or know anybody that breaks into home and murders people. But maybe he does. Okay. And so here was the post, October 24th. Okay, the killer's gun. And I have it. You can see I probably have 6 or 7 different screenshots, plus the video and the story, and that's still not even, I mean, I still don't have all the evidence that I talk about in here. And then actually, in preparation, I went and found, you know, all these other pieces of evidence that's not even included in this Facebook post showing what I'm talking about. And so quickly, I'll click on that. The killer's gun. I didn't know what happened when I shot, because I was ambushed and I didn't see the shooter or the gun. I knew there was under home invasions with burglar alarms going off. And now I know that a burglar was trapped in my guest bathroom after I tie-wired some doors shut. There was a long history of burglars at my home. And my first call to the police for a burglary of a felony was 14 months. I mean, this had been going on, you know, repeated felonies being committed against me here at this home. And I bought the home, and the previous homeowner just died. Anyway, nobody would expect to be shot by somebody under their home, but that's exactly what happened. The evidence is clear about that, and phone records will show that I reported a suspected tunnel to the El Paso and Midland DEA 2 weeks earlier. And these people, they shot me from point-blank range directly in an artery with my phone lines cut. I was supposed to die. This was premeditated murder, and it's God that saved my life, and I give God all the praise and glory. My phone records will show them calls to the DEA, and obviously it looks like somebody at the DEA set me up to be murdered because I reported crime, because I reported the tunnel. They didn't look and said, we need to kill this guy that's reporting crime, obviously. But we don't know who at the DEA, and we don't even know, maybe the last homeowner called the DEA, and that's when he died, they set him up to kill him too. That makes sense, doesn't it? Because we need to find out who at the DEA is setting people up to be murdered when they report crime. Anyway, my cell phone had disappeared earlier in the day, so I had my cordless phone in my pocket. But when I fell to the ground of being shot, I found the line was dead. Okay, so that's why I crawled out. If you see me crawling out, and I posted that many times, it's because I had no communications. I should have bled out and died. I was shot from 10 inches away, less than a foot away or so, and directly at an artery from inches away with my phone lines cut. That was in my own home. Okay. When I returned from the hospital, I found my home phone was back working, and pictures of Secret Police Rosa Rodriguez leaned over the nightstand where my stolen cell phone was found. It looks like herself and Officer April Chandler waited until the other officers left the room and planted my phone that had been stolen in preparation to murder me. They were caught doing this by a camera they had tried to disable with no police reports saying they were even in my home. And actually what had happened is I told the Rosa Rodriguez that the ER proof is at my house, and her friends went sneaking in my house to steal the proof. And then, okay, so you see all the secret police in my room, and then towards the end of the pictures, after all them other secret police leave, you see old Rosa Rodriguez and April Chandler standing there, nobody else in the room, and leaned over the nightstand where that stolen phone was placed, that I found when I got back. I'm going to show you that picture in a minute. Later, court testimony shows Detective Rosa Rodriguez was childhood friends with an ex-wife that is now alleged to be involved in the shooting by her former boyfriend. I had just filed divorce 5 days earlier. It was a 3-month marriage. If this detective would rule my murder an accident, it would have given her friend a paid-for and very special home plus an extra $500,000 instead of a divorce from a 3-month marriage. Testimony shows they were in contact before the shooting and on the night of the shooting. And it was 2 years later before I put the connection that Rosa Rodriguez and that ex-wife who's alleged to be involved in the shooting were friends, And Rosa Rodriguez met me at the 7-Eleven after I crawled out, and then lied on the police report and said she wasn't there, And then she's in my house, and the police report once again says she's not here, Lie after lie after lie. Ballistic evidence shows the size of pellets removed from my foot were 2.5 sizes different than what was removed from my foot, proving that I was not shot with my gun. What that says is, if a guy's shot with a 22, okay, and here's this guy holding a 45, the guy with a 45 didn't shoot the guy that has a bullet in him with a 22. Everybody knows that. That's ballistic evidence. And you take it to court, that proves that absolutely no way the guy with a 45 shot the guy that's got a 22. Here's where we're going. Absolute 100% proof I wasn't shot with my gun. The size of the ammunition is different what was in my foot. But that's not all, okay? No empty shotgun shell was found, which would be required. Okay, so here these corrupt police are saying I shot myself with my gun, but there's no empty shotgun shell. If my gun had shot me, there would be an empty shotgun shell, but there's not, okay? And then they're in a physical room, in this little bitty room here, and besides that, a 12-gauge shotgun from 12 inches away would have blown my foot off, And then we have the proof of the faked X-rays, and as shown that the brother-in-law of the ex-wife was the ER doctor at the hospital when I got there when the X-rays were faked. Okay. It looks like, and of course, we'd already stated that she was going to get an extra $500,000 accidental death policy. Okay. It looks like somebody was shot with a shotgun in the ankle 11 days before me, and that person's x-rays are used to create fake x-rays are being shown in an attempt to falsely claim that I shot with a shotgun. Okay, so they're trying to say I shot myself with my own gun, but the evidence says different. Okay, so then we have the reason I say it's 11 days before because of this report I'm going to show you, where doctor said I was shot 11 days before I was actually shot, and then I had more x-rays 9 days before, and he compared the x-rays and all this, and I wasn't there. It didn't happen. Somebody else was shot 11 days before me, and I think that's the foot in the fake x-rays. The brother-in-law of the ex-wife was ER doctor. I said that a minute ago. And I had just been told a few weeks earlier that the secret is that a group of doctors are killing people for profit. Now, I wasn't told that they're just killing you for profit, buddy. They're killing people. They're killing man, woman, and child. That's probably the biggest thing in this whole deal. And I didn't record that because that's one conversation I didn't record. But I think my word's good enough. You ought to believe me when I say it, especially when I'm showing you all this evidence. That doesn't mean that all things are known. Now, one of the unknowns is what kind of gun was I shot with. We know I wasn't shot with my gun. The evidence is clear about that, okay? And my best guess is I shot with a .45 handgun loaded with special ammunition called Blazer safety slugs. And that's part of that other video there. And there's a reason, because there's a woman that says you wasn't shot with the .45, indicating that I was shot with the .45, or you're not crippled being shot with a 45, indicating I was shot with a 45 handgun. And that makes, and that actually fits the space requirements, is that I was shot with a handgun, not a 4-foot long rifle in an 8-foot wide room. Okay. And we know I wasn't shot. It wasn't a rifle, but a shotgun. We know I wasn't shot with my shotgun. We already proved that. So that fits that. And so that's why I think it's a 45. And I get into the other evidence of the plastic, and then that I'm going to keep reading. Lisa Rogers' document saying you're not disabled from a 45. This slip states that she knew what kind of gun I shot with. I wondered if her son was here and knew somebody that was okay. And I knew her son knew a lot of people from my hometown of Hobbs, New Mexico. Okay, and it. 90% of the people in my hometown, Hobbs, New Mexico, never share this incredible, interesting, fact-filled story. First known secret police gang since Nazi Germany caught on camera. First time ever a crime victim offered a reward to identify police. These are a lot of firsts. And here are my lifelong friends there trying to deny all this when I was shot and left for dead in my own home. Okay? Glazier safety slugs can be bought for a 45 handgun, and that's what my guess is, that I'm shot with this special ammunition. It's plastic tipped pellet-filled bullets that go in handguns like a 45. Glazier safety slugs are pellet-filled bullets with a plastic tip. I'm going to show you that. Special ammunition, which would mimic a shotgun, shows additional premeditation. Okay, they bought a special ammunition to come sneak into my home, cut my phone lines, and shoot me. That's what I call premeditation right there. And there was no accident that they have special ammunition. The size of pellets and a Glazier safety slug almost exactly the same size as the pellets. See, we had a problem with the pellet size, okay? Because the size of the pellets from the lab report are different what was in my gun. Well, but for this Glazier safety slug, they actually fit, they match up, okay? The surgeon writes that he removed a large amount of plastic from the wound. A standard shotgun shell has a plastic wadding that is one piece. And the ER doctor said, which is my brother-in-law, remember that, ex-brother-in-law, stated that he removed it before surgery, but a Glazier safety slug has a plastic tip. That would explain the plastic, okay? And so then I have these pictures. To speed this up, I just put them up here because I didn't even include all the proof pictures, okay? These are the nurse's notes, okay? I mentioned sirens going off, alarms going off. I was shot during a home invasion. And minutes later, I called at 10:42, 11:27. I'm telling the nurse and Rosa Rodriguez that burglar alarm's going off. I'm saying there's proof at my house. Go look, there's proof. And they did, except that they sneaked in my house, tried to disable the camera, and accidentally got caught on camera. That's what happened, okay? And so I'm shot during, and okay, here's the next one. And this is another, I clicked the wrong one. This is the prime marks on the guest bathroom door. What I did was I tie wired my doors shut because I was having all these burglars in my house, and I was told there was a trap door in this house, and I was trying to figure out where this trap door was at. Okay, so, and this is the nursing notes, 11:27. I'm saying I tie wired it, my door shut. Okay. And when I get home from the hospital, 10 days later, crippled for life, I find prime marks on the inside of the door, and I find that the hinge off this door was tore off the wall, and it was real clear that I had trapped somebody in this room. A burglar, I had been reporting burglaries, got trapped in this guest bathroom before I was shot. So obviously, they could have called the police and said, I'm a burglar, I'm breaking a home, come arrest me before this homeowner shoots me and send me to prison for 10 years for burglary of a habitation. Or they get with their friends to go, let's kill him, okay? And that's obviously this choice they made, okay? And so that was another reference, okay? This is a guy over in Levington, and he also made the blocked list, and I took all his information, blocked him too. But good luck finding the DA to file any charges on a cop, which made me wonder if a cop was a shooter, and that makes sense because we had secret police and everything else. And then others like Tomer, like you have now, keep your doors locked and tie wired. It would slow them down. That was an interesting comment, and that's one reason I put that there. Okay, so I mentioned the life insurance books. Okay, this was my 2012 insurance books. I'm married, like I said, 3 months. Had the beneficiaries change over, and then here I'm going through divorce. Okay, she took these books when we separated less than a month before I'm shot. It showed I had a basic accidental death and a supplemental accidental death. So if I happen to die by accident, let me put that another way. If her childhood friend, Rosa Rodriguez, comes in and steals evidence and rules my murder an accident, then she would get 2 times annual pay, okay, and plus another $250,000. So altogether, an extra $500,000 on top of the other million or whatever it was in assets that was getting split up with her and the kids. Okay, and then here in court testimony in 2013 is when I found out that they're buddies since they were in elementary school, and I didn't even know that. Rosa Rodriguez met me at the 7-Eleven. Okay. I mentioned no empty shotgun shell, but I didn't show you the evidence. That's what I'm doing here now. This right here. CSI was caught sneaking into my home. How many homes has this crime scene investigator sneaked into? How many crime victim homes has this CSI sneaked into? And he's the one saying he was here, but the police incident report says he wasn't here. He said he picked up my shotgun. Now there's another thing I didn't mention in here. It's Rosa Rodriguez going, I had my gun tie wired, and that was a lie, another made up lie. Remember, she's a liar. She lies, and lies. And there was no tie wire. There's no tie wire in evidence. There's no pictures of tie wire. And not even the crime scene investigator that comes to my house, sneaked into my house and picked up my gun, said anything about tie wire. There was no tie wire. More lies. I was shot. This was a murder attempt. Okay. Here's what was checked in evidence: 4 live Remington 12 gauge. Remember, if my gun shot me, okay, then there'd be an empty shotgun shell. Okay, these are live. Okay, so there's no empty shotgun shell. And why? Because I wasn't shot with my gun. There's lots of evidence saying that. Okay. Court testimony anymore. And this is basically Detective Rosa Rodriguez in court testimony saying that she called the ex on the night I'm shot. Okay, so here's the transcript. Did you call her on a cell phone? Yes, ma'am. So she testified under oath, under threat of perjury, that she talked to the ex-wife on the night I'm shot. So they were in communications, and I said that, okay? And then just interestingly, the ex-wife, she testifies that that's not what happened. She said that my daughter called her and told her to call Rosie. See, they couldn't even get their own story right, You don't even know who called who, but what you do know is that them childhood buddies were talking to each other on the night I get shot. Okay, and so one of them lied. This is perjury. We can throw that case away as far as I'm concerned. Drawing of the room, okay, and this basically showing it's 7.8 foot wide, 8.9 foot long. That's a little bitty room. It's got a cabinet, water heater, closet, washer, dryer, tiny room. I've been in there. I've took pictures in it. Okay, there was blood here on the floor. Here's the back door. Here's the entryway from the kitchen. I'm walking to the back door. Burglar alarm's going off in the attic. Okay, I'm walking to the back door. Boom, I fall right here. There's only a couple of feet in there. Okay, this is a 4 foot long gun. Okay, that's what they're trying to say I shot myself with. That's a lie. Absolute 100% lie. They're under this cabinet, shot me this way. And, and so that was just one more piece of proof. There wasn't enough room. And if I had been from inches away, I'd blown my foot off. Now, okay. Dr. Hinton, radiologist, says gunshot injury date of 1/17. He compared injuries that I had taken on 1/17/12, and he compared them to other x-rays I had taken on 1/19/12, but I'm shot on 1/28/12. So that tells you Dr. Hinton wasn't looking at my x-rays. That's not a typo. That's 2 different dates. Okay, so that's why I believe this guy's x-rays that was shot on this date, 11 days before me, his foot was used in the faked x-rays, okay? And come to find out, it looks like Dr. Hinton charged the insurance company for x-rays on the night that my x-rays were faked, okay? And I have that. I didn't bring that here. I didn't post that, but... Okay, proof of faked x-rays. This is not my assessment. I think maybe this is absolute 100% proof. And I'm going to run through here. These are the documents that show it. But from the ER report, the ER doctor, my brother-in-law, right, orders 2 ankle x-rays at 11:35. 2 minutes later, he orders 3 foot x-rays, okay? At 11:41, lab tech, secret lab tech, cancels doctor's orders for 3 foot x-rays, okay? And then the lab tech reorders 2 x-rays, okay? Who's the lab tech? We don't know. They signed in under user in interface. They did that. So there was no way to trace them back because obviously user in interface is the one that faked them x-rays, okay? And you see, and not more than that, user in interface has rights to cancel the doctor's orders and reorder, and basically what I'm going is,
they were already working on the x-rays. He didn't have enough for 3 to fill the order, so he had to change it to 2. That's what happened. And then from the lab report here, time-stamped, which, I know time-stamps working in IT and taking care of computer network, that they're down to the millisecond, okay? But what it's showing you here is at 11:24, 3-foot x-rays taken, 11:27, 2-foot x-rays taken, 11:35, 1 ankle, 11:40, 1 foot. Okay, so what basically we're going to look here is the x-rays are time-stamped before they were ordered. Okay, that's what's going on, is the x-rays were time-stamped 10 minutes before the doctor ordered them, my brother-in-law. Okay, all right. This was there. This is basically Lisa Rogers. I can't remember what her son name, last name's Cobb, I think, has many friends from Hobbs of this young age group that I wondered was actually here, that maybe he was here. Somebody checked that. Was he here in Midland? Was he under my home? Okay. And how does she know I was shot with a 45? Lisa somehow knows I was shot with a 45, and that fits the evidence. Okay. Because a 45 fits the space requirements. And, okay. Rosa Rodriguez, all the other police are out of the room. April Chandler, Rosa Rodriguez, and you can see her leaned over the stolen cell phone that was stolen before I was shot, but it was found behind this nightstand. Remember, my home phone line was cut, my cell phone was stolen, had no communications. I get back, my home phone's working, and my stolen cell phone's been placed behind this nightstand. It wasn't there when I shot, okay, and Rosa Rodriguez has leaned over it, okay? And look at the timestamp, and they tried to disable this camera. They didn't know this picture's being taken, and you see it's 3:54 and 1:29. You look at the police incident report, there are no police at my home. Okay, they sneaked in my home, tried to disable the camera, and got caught. And I believe this picture shows that they're planting evidence right here was part of the murder attempt on my life. I think that's real clear for all of us to see. How's a shotgun shell made? Let me show you that. Okay, here's the wadding. Because some people go, well, a shotgun shell has plastic in it. Okay, well, it has this wadding. It's a cup that holds these pellets, and it all comes out like that. It pushes out, and here's the charge, here's the wadding, here's the pellets. So the wadding follows the pellets. So what you find is the pellets enter the wound before the wadding, and the wadding gets stuck on the entrance side, okay? And it's a one-piece plastic wadding, okay? And that here, well, that's not it, but it's inside the shell, comes out. One-piece plastic wadding. That was removed by the ER doctor, okay? Here's the size of the pellets, okay? This is from the lab report, and it's showing the size, okay? Here's from my gun, showing the size, okay? Right here on Glazer safety slugs, right here at 6. And you look here, you're almost identical. And we're also showing the entrance wound from the front, the exit wound from the back. That shows direction of shot, okay? And here is the surgeon's report. Where did the plastic come from? Because there was a large amount of plastic and lead pellet debris. This is the surgeon stated that on this medical report. Okay, this is from the ER doctor, my brother-in-law, right? The plastic wadding from the shotgun shells extruding from the skin. This was removed during the exam. Okay, so and really the Glazer safety slug's not going to have a wadding, and so that's a very conflicting piece of evidence there. And was it really a wadding there? But either way, he says he removed the wadding, and he says there's a lot of plastic. And so and the one here is a Glazer safety slug. These are special ammunition, okay? Plastic tip, pellet-filled bullets that will fit in a 45 size compressed 6 shot. And so it's just an amazing amount of evidence. You should see that. Here's a childhood friend from Hobbs, never shares my story, just a couple days ago, and says, what do you call it? Your so-called murder attempt. Called it a fantasy. And I'm going, this guy's playing stupid. I know he's not that dumb. I know anybody looks at the evidence is going to know I wasn't shot with my gun. And if I ain't shot with my gun, somebody come to my home and shot me. And that's a murder attempt. Because they didn't come over here and sneak into my home and shoot me because they were trying to wound me, okay? And they sure didn't do it by surprise, okay? So then at that point, what I do when I see that is I'll go in there and I take screenshots. Johnny Bice, haha. Okay, so I click that. And then I have that, and then I'll do his about, his friends, his photos, and his timeline. I do this every time I block somebody, or at least try to do it every time I block somebody for rude comments, insults, and things like this. And then I try to look at them and see which one shows up a lot on because this guy I see all the time, people that attack me, maybe he has some connection. I don't know that. And these other people, I mean, I rarely see them, any activity on my timeline, but I have 5,000 friends in this incredible story. Anyway, it doesn't take much to get blocked. I live under death threat. Well, this one guy says we have access to your residence all times. Nobody will ever believe your story. You will be silenced, not if, but when. This is after I survived a murder attempt. I've already shown that. And I write him back and I said, when are you going to murder me, Lance? And I print screen it, posted it to Facebook, and wants to save my life. Anyway, this is Buddy. Talk to you later. Bye.